be in Nevada Magazine, as it says up there. This is a great opportunity for all of us. Please let me know if I move the mic away and you can't hear me very well, okay? Hey, just yell at me, I'm good with that. I speak from my heart here. There are so many of you out here that I admire, who I've already met, and I still admire you to this day, and I admire your work and everything you've taught me along the way. Thank you. And to you who I have not met yet, please connect with me during the break or during lunch. And anything that I haven't spoken to today or about today, please ask me any question you want and connect, okay? Because that's what this is about. It's a safe place. Ready? Ready. I'm nervous. Jeez Louise, holy smokes, and everything in between, I'm done. Wow. As some of you already know, I already said this first, so I'm going to skip that one. Ready? As I look around the room, I notice something. We are a group consisting of passionate people. We search for the better shot. We look for the light. And that was one dang bright light right there, right? That's before I knew what I was doing. We hope for greatness. We learn to critique others' work to better our own. We strive for recognition. Some of us want to be famous, and some of us just want to make friends. We share our images as a gift to the world, but also for our own gain. We prefer certain gear. Oh, did we click it yet? Oh, I'm totally way up there. Let's get to the gear one. Sure. You like that one. Keep going. There it is. That was from Washington when they had all laid their cameras all there. So we prefer certain gear. We prefer to shoot certain genre. And we all can be quite judgmental. And that's the truth, right? We are. Yet, I see in all of us the one theme that's most noticeable of all. We live and breathe photography. Ready? This is good timing here. Until we can't do it anymore.
Is that me? Thank you.
So now I'm just going to the next thing, please. Hi, I'm Melissa Knight. You'll hear that a lot today. My middle name is Faith, F-A-I-T-H. Our business is Faith Photography Nevada. My husband is my business partner. We've only been in business for about 3 years, but we're thriving. It's because of a lot of you here today and my own goals and what I've learned in the lessons in my life. The only reason I'm here today is to share the very best that I've learned. That's it, it's simple. I've made mistakes along the way, and then I've made some successes, and I want to share them with you. Before I begin, let's learn a little bit about each other. Here are some easy questions. So it's now your turn to kind of be afraid. Please raise your hand because this part's important to me. Who uses Canon? I do. A lot. Who uses Nikon? Oh. Who uses? What about mirrorless? Yes. Good job. Film or Hasselblads, anything in that genre? I mean, in that area? Pete Resnick messaged me right before I got here, and he said he wouldn't be here. He was supposed to be here, and he couldn't make it. So that's the reason why I put that in there. Was me. Cell phones, primarily. We all use our cell phones, but is there anyone that uses it primarily? Because it's working these days. There you go. Whose goal is it to make scrapbooks for family and friends, and you just love every minute of it, and that's why you do photos? Anyone? Because that's how I got started. Did, and now it's kind of shifted. Great. Who wants to have friends? And that's another way to be here. Good. Who wants to use, and we use photography as an excuse to do it, right? Yeah. I learned that in Washington this week. Josh Cooks looked at me when I didn't understand something, and I'll get on him, don't worry. I'll get on him. Josh Cooks looked at me and said, I think you use photography as an excuse to connect. And I said, you've been stalking my page, haven't you? But it's the truth. So who has reached pro level? At least you've been told you are. And be brave here, guys. At least you've been told you are. Some are. Doesn't mean you think you are, but at least you've been told you are. Who wants to see their images hanging in homes or businesses? Okay, good. Thank you for answering those questions, because we all have different goals. We're all at different levels, but no matter what goal you have, big or small, we somehow get stuck. We stop moving forward, and the lessons I've learned in my life will hopefully inspire you. Try to get you unstuck and take your first step to reaching your goal. Ready? I think there it is. These are the three. And it doesn't matter what list I give you. It doesn't matter what form I give you that says, go here and do this and do that. No matter what specifics I give you to your photography goal, these three are the ones that matter the most. Okay? And that's what I'm speaking to. Play unafraid, get out of your own way, and know your story. That's me and my husband, Charlie. You can't tell by the photo, but I had just walked 9 holes by myself at the Reno Tahoe Open. A lot of people stopped to give me rides because I couldn't stop saying hi, I'm Melissa Knight. And here's my, you'll get used to it. When I approached the 18th green, I saw my husband to the left because he had been doing something else. And I started to go towards my husband, and all of a sudden I turned to my right, and there was Neil Lockhart on the 18th green, photographing the pro golfers. And I ask you, would you have walked up to him and interrupted him? Or would you have stepped back and just gone, honey, that's Neil Lockhart, that's Neil Lockhart, right? And I went, honey, that's Neil Lockhart. Sorry, Neil, but this is
Your shorts are untied in that shot.
Oh, right? I almost wore those shorts today, but I didn't. I wasn't brave, but I did wear this shirt because this is the shirt. This is where my journey started. And it has 2 holes in it from Tufa, or whatever that place is, Mono? Yeah, Mono. Anyway, so I saw Neil Lockhart, and there he was, working his magic on the green, and I interrupted him. And guess what I said? Hi, I'm Melissa Knight. And he looked, poor guy, and he comes over, and he chats, and he goes, hi. I go, I know you! Right? I know you! You're on Nevada Photographers. Thank you for the site, guys. You're on Nevada Photographers. Do you remember this name?
I do.
August 4th, 2013. Anyway, I said, I love your work. I'm inspired by your work. And he goes, I like your work too. And I go, no, you don't. I haven't posted anything. But then that's how we connected. Thank you.
Thank you.
But the point is, playing unafraid. I was playing unafraid, and my husband was going, no! And I think he was telling Neil, don't do it! You'll never get out alive. But you played unafraid to connect with me 6 months later by saying, let's go shoot, or let's go, do this event. And he shoved a flash on my camera at the event. So thank you. So if I can plan afraid, you can too to reach your goals. You can't tell by this photo that I was leaning for dear life on a cane, hiding it behind Charlie. So imagine walking 9 holes with a cane now. Put that story in there, okay? Your story matters. You can't tell that I had made myself unafraid to walk that course by myself, to just strengthen my body. 2 things had happened. I had a crippling illness for 12 years, and it had been misdiagnosed. It was finally diagnosed right before this, a few years before this. It was Lyme disease. You can't tell from this photo that while recovering from the disease, I also broke the very top of my femur in 3 places a year before this, thus the cane again. That's some bad luck, right? But you can turn it. It taught me lessons I get to share with you today. The thing that I thought would take me down became my saving grace. Without me taking those many steps, plain and unafraid, I would not have met Neil and Beth, who took me in like I was a brother. Who am I? Sister. Oh, the disease almost took me out. I lost movement in my legs, shook like Parkinson's, read backwards, lost communication skills. I lost many files in my brain and became pretty crazy. I couldn't remember my last name or count to 10, or even name 5 animals. I couldn't remember where I'd been, and I couldn't live without pain. I'd wake up with a new symptom every day for 12 years, but I knew one thing I could control. My story. Your story here. It starts today, okay? So I played unafraid and I got out of my way and I started my own story. Here's how it started, before Neil. Because my brain was gone, I couldn't remember where I'd been. So I picked up a Canon Rebel. That's how this whole thing got started. To remember where I was and to make sure pictures were in there of my family so at least they knew I had been there. But guess what? Ready, Charlia? They also found out it was a way to keep me quiet. Because I used to sit at the gym and yell at the refs, or I didn't have a filter at all. It was huge. And as long as you had a camera in front of my face, and I know right now some of you just thought, man, I wish I would have put that camera in front of her face sooner. I didn't know what the dials meant on the camera. My weakness was comprehending, so I couldn't read, and I knew no photographers. So I put it in auto, or sports mode, and then looked at the settings on the back, turned it to the M, which I had no idea was manual until I went to Best Buy and asked them, and put the settings in manual and started teaching myself manual. That's how I learned, because I couldn't read, but for some reason, my hands would connect as soon as and my brain would connect with my hands. I think it came from piano playing. In 2011, I was sitting in the golf cart with my family, taking pictures of them, and there was the view. It was beautiful, so I put it in auto, and I walked out there, took the picture, took it home. A year later, decided to make greeting cards, and told myself, you know what? Now this is my first step. I said, you know what? Somebody's going to want these, and then we can take the money and give it back to the junior programs. So my husband, he was so nice, and he goes, okay, I'll go with you. So we go to the golf course, and I say, here are the best I have, right? But I was more subtle than, hi. And I said, I'm sure you will want that hawk in the willow tree to sell in your pro shop, right? They saw the one at the top. That one. And that's the one that day that went, oh, put it in an auto and click. And they said, we like your greeting cards. We'll be happy to sell them in the pro shop, but we want that one. And I said, okay, great, how many do you want? And they said, no, we want it for marketing. And they gave me a huge list. And they said, how much is it? And I said, give me 24 hours. And so then we go to Gordon's. I'd never walked into Gordon's, didn't know Gordon's. I had to look it up in a phone book if we still know what that is. And I walked in, and there's strangers there. And you know what I said? Hi, I'm Melissa Knight. You don't know me, but somebody wants this photo, and here's their list. And I handed them the list. And Jeff Sinek, he will sit, if he was here, he would laugh. He's very eccentric, and he's very funny, and he's got his own, road. He's got his own path. But this is how he started with me. He said, give me that list, and he grabbed his 3 people in Gordon's, and they went in the back room, and they brought me back contracts and lists and scenarios of where photos like this ended up at golf courses for reasons, and a huge price for purchase. And I said, I can't ask the pro shop this. I can't. And Jeff looked at me and said, hey lady. He said, hold on, I gotta turn my page so I quote this right. You have a talent you don't even see yet. Go ask. Good luck, you're worth it. Get out of your way and you're going far. So see what you can do when you play unafraid, no matter what your goal is. If you're asking a client for more money, you need to raise your prices. You need to walk into a store and ask them to sell your images. If I can do this, look what you can do with a brain and a healthy body, right? Okay, here's another shot. I think it's, yeah. Okay, this is when I finally figured out shutter speed. Doing the same thing, auto manual. And it's just basic, but I remember it for the rest of my life. Ask yourself, what is your goal? Ask yourself, are you playing afraid or unafraid most of the time? Are you getting in your own way? By excuses, mostly. What are your strengths? What's the worst thing that could happen if somebody says no? So, if I'm up here saying play unafraid, guess what I was all freaking week? 2 hours of sleep at night. I'm honest here. Everybody that knows me knows that. 2 hours of sleep at night. Why? Because I was getting in my own way and I had these doubts. And the other night, I went, oh my gosh, it's midnight, I gotta stop this. And I said to myself, how can I stop it? And I got online and I remembered I had a friend. Write this name down, please. Now. DeWitt Jones, D-E-W-I-T-T Jones. A world-renowned National Geographic retired photographer who celebrates all. So at midnight, I'd only met the guy one time for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, time last night. I contacted him at midnight. Poor guy. And I said, I'm nervous, I'm speaking here. And I'm speaking about playing and afraid, but I'm stuck in my head. Do you have one thing of advice? And he gave me the advice, but the last thing he said was, it went, but he messaged me at 12:05. So we were both up. And he said, knock them alive. Not out of death, knock them alive. So that's playing unafraid for you in a way. Let's see if you got in your own way today. Please do not raise your hands, just think about it. We all had our goals here. When you walked into this building, did you immediately walk to those you know? Did you introduce yourself to someone new? Or did you wait for someone to come over and introduce themselves to you, right?
Yeah.
When you chose your seat, did you choose to sit by someone you do not know? Or did you stay in your comfort zone? Believe me, I get comfort. How do you think I made it through 12 years? Comfort and safety, right? But if we're going to reach our goals, you gotta step out. If you're gonna get the guts to walk in that store or that gallery who doesn't want photography in there at all, and you guys know that, you've got to step out. Do I sound passionate? I hope I don't sound mad and passionate. Are we getting in our own way? So after the break, I take a challenge. I'm giving you a challenge to find somebody new. If you feel comfortable enough to do it, take your step today in a safe zone right here. Or sit somewhere new. I don't know if there's another. Why do you do what you do? Why do you prefer selling prints over digitals? Or digitals over prints? What drives you? It's a bigger answer than you might realize. If we don't know our story, we don't know why we do what we do, then how can we sell what we don't even know why we do it? How can we sell what we're not believing in necessarily ourselves? It took me over a year to define why I am drawn to people. My friends would be out there doing landscapes. Guess what I was doing? Oh, they're getting a landscape. Click them in a landscape. And I used to get, they'd pick on me. No, post a picture. And I didn't know why I was drawn to people so much. I But here it is in a nutshell, and this is on my website. My middle name is Faith. I embrace life, celebrate all, and I am inspired by human connections. Photography allows me to do all three at the same time. That's it. I used to sell digitals because that was the way I learned. Then I heard about prints, because remember, I didn't know photography stuff. I started printing images to do in-person sales. I raised my prices because now I'm selling prints and putting money out, and I had to raise my prices. There came a point when I was judged for raising my prices and for selling prints. And it gets, I knew that was coming, but that's okay. But at first I doubted myself and went back to digitals. And then I said, wait a second, why is it do I love selling prints? It wasn't just about the revenue. Remember, I couldn't remember where I was, and I wanted proof that I was there. During those 12 years of me being out there with my camera, there might be 2 photos of me. Because all the people that came up to me and said, I have a photo of you, are in their phone, and I don't even know who those people are. So my story is not there in print. And I realized that printing for my clients, I didn't want this to happen to them. And I educate them now. And I don't give them a scary story. I just let them know. This lasts 100 years, this doesn't. Your phone breaks, goes in the toilet, rice doesn't fix it, what are you going to do? And here's the other thing. I still offer digitals though. Because I know there's people right now, this is a now generation, they want now, we want now. I offer digitals, and when they come in, I show them their images in print. But I still offer the digitals. 99% of the time they're buying the prints because they see the value in it also. But with the prints, I'm handing out a digital with each one they purchase, so they get both. Those who choose the digitals, they end up coming back because they printed them somewhere else and they have already seen the quality of print that we produced. Does that make sense? It took me a lot. It took a long time to get up the guts to do that. A long time to be able to accept the word no. But you don't hear no very often when you believe in what you do and who you are. Get back on track here. Hold on a second. Give my brain 1 minute to pass gas and we'll be fine. And put that on that recording. Oh, I know. These are for you. I went to 3 businesses for you, and I don't walk into businesses very often. I don't have, we're still working on my landscape stuff. With 3 businesses, gave them the same question. Do you have 5 minutes to spare to share one bit of information that would help other photographers get their images in your place of business or any other store or gallery? Do you have 5 minutes? First place of business. Nope. Good luck. Thank you very much. I will not be coming to your place anymore to spend money. That's what I thought in my head. Because it could have been, no, good, wish me the best, I have time later, contact me later, but it was nope. So customer service, was huge. Second business, yes, meet me for coffee for 30 minutes. So here's the information I'm passing on from the second business. If you are interested in any future events for photographers at Nevada Fine Arts, you need to get on their email list. Okay? Nevada Fine Arts down in Reno. A lot of us who've already been in there know, but they have a gallery down below. Their gallery is mostly for artists, but they do have an open invite coming up in months from here. They didn't have the exact date, but get on their emailing list so you can be part of their photography experience, I don't know how to word this, in the community, because they do support photographers randomly, okay? So get on there. And that gives yourself a 50-50 chance to get in. Third business, I walked in cold. I went to lunch with my husband, saw it across the way, and went, oh my gosh, okay, here we go. Tried to talk myself out of it, and could not. I took in no business card, no photos, no cell phone, and left in the car on purpose. And I walked in and I said, you have a lovely store. I see you have landscapes for sale and wildlife. I love the presentation. Do you have 5 minutes? And they talked for an hour and a half. And I listened, because that's the next thing, listening. Here's what they said. Clients are now noticing that, this is so interesting, I'm so excited to share this with you. Clients are now noticing that we are signing mats instead of right below the print on the paper as in old school. And they have had clients coming in time after time saying, I need to take the mat, I want to redo this. But your signature and title and who you are on the mat. And I'm not buying the mat, I'm buying the image. See how important that information is? Because once they pass that brand picture that we just made $1 million off of, right? to their children as an heirloom, no one knows who took the photo. Now there's debate going out there, that's okay. But this is the information that came to me to pass to you. So if you're going to be signing, think, do you want to sign old school where you don't leave the photo all the way through, but you leave, you leave that little white space down below and you sign it below? And I asked how many times does it happen, and they said every week. Every week somebody's bringing it up. And so I don't know if it's a new thing again, but I'm passing it on to you, okay? Does that help somebody, hopefully? Plain Unafraid brought me here, and please feel free to talk to me about the specifics you need and any goals that you're trying to reach. I'm mostly portrait, wildlife, and sports. But my business is thriving. Kippi, how much time do I have? 0?
You have just a couple minutes left.
Great. This video I put together is a marketing tool. So if you can do still photos in your video and make a video out of your still photos, it brings in a lot of people. Okay? But this will show you how we connected my clients' stories to mine and my story to theirs. And I wish you the best of luck. Okay? guys?